All right, students, today we're going to talk about the sander so that you guys can start sanding your first project. Now, sander seems like a pretty straightforward tool, and it is, but there are a lot of things I want you to consider for the safety of yourself, for the best product you can create, and also for the maintenance of the tool. So those are what my concerns, and here we go. First, I'm going to tell you about the tool. The tool itself only has two important parts to it in regards to buttons or dials. There's one button on the front. This is your power button. Turns it on when you press it once, turns it off when you press it again. That is nice and easy. Right here on the side of the machine you will see a dial. This goes from 1 to 6. We want to try and keep this around 3 or 4 as far as we are concerned in this class. Okay? So keep that dial where it is. There are also other things to consider. Here is your power cord. That should always be on here. And this is the vacuum. We hope that's always on there as well. If it's ever disconnected, pause your work, stop the machine, get it connected, and start again. If the hose keeps falling out, talk with Mr. Coop. We'll try and figure out how to get that assembled more appropriately. Also, if you're sanding and you don't hear the vacuum turn on, that's another reason to talk to Mr. Coop or try and figure it out yourself to make sure everything's wired correctly and that the vacuum is turned to auto. Those are important things in order to make sure you don't suck up all the dust into your own lungs. Alright, now that we've talked about how to get the machine started, I want to talk to you about the actual sandpaper that you need to have on here. So if you ever show up and you see that there is a sander and you don't look and you just start sanding, we're going to have some possible problems. This is not sandpaper. If you see black, it's not sandpaper. Sandpaper is kind of this whitish, purplish color, see-through, whatever you want to call it, but it also has numbers on the back. This is what will actually do your sanding for you, okay? So, if you ever see black, don't start sanding. Find some sandpaper. They are over in the drawers that say 80, 150, 220. What do those numbers mean? Good question. Well, anytime you start a project, you're going to want to start with... Now, since I start with my 80, go ahead and place it on here. Make sure it's stuck as centered as possible. And I'm going to load my material. Now, I'm going to load it into the vise here, because I don't sand things just holding it with my hands. I'm going to make sure this metal piece is down, because what I want you to do is make sure that this sander never touches anything but your material. So, if you have your material loaded too low, you won't even be able to sand it unless it's a bigger project. But I don't really want to bump the sander into the edges of the vise. So please hold it high when you close your vise. Try not to pinch your fingers. It might happen once in a while. And then we're going to get our equipment on. And we're going to start. Okay. Things I want you to notice. Hopefully you saw I was moving back and forth. Why do you think I did that? Next, I kept it really flat. It is not a good practice to go on edge. Why do you think it's a bad thing to go on edge? Notice I'm doing the face. Okay. I don't recommend sanding edges like this. That is just 3/4 fit. The top of salt and pepper shakers, that can work. And other items, we might be able to do that a bit. But really, if you get to this, the problem is you might rock from side to side and not stay flat. Okay? So it's very important to try and keep it all flat. Alright. That is the basics on the sander. Key components to remember. Always have sandpaper on your machine. Keep the speed dial around 3 or 4. Make sure the hose is connected. Load your material so that the machine is not hitting any edges, and so you're just sanding flat your stock. And please don't go on edge, as it will create divots. Keep moving, and that will also keep you from creating divots in your material. It will make it more even and cause your piece to turn out better. Hope you enjoyed this video. Good luck with sanding.